Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NHL.
A little more touch. Sissons might have been in the clear down the slot. Hurdle from the right side. Give and go. He shoots. He scores! Tomas Hurdle. 5-4 Knights. 3:24 to go in the third period. It goes to the corner, and another try blocked. The game is over. Vegas takes game one. 5-4. Their seventh come-from-behind victory this postseason.
Game one Stanley Cup final goes to Vegas. PK, how close were the Mammoth to going to the Stanley Cup final? All this comparative score stuff. It's all fool's gold, right? It wouldn't have happened?
I thought they lost in the first round.
They did to the team that now leads in the Stanley Cup final.
3 rounds away.
Yeah. And
but I'm giving you fact. You're just giving me supposition.
Yep.
That's the difference between TV and print.
Uh-huh.
I'm giving you fact.
Right. And when I give you fact, you go, well, that's fact. What can I do with that? Have an opinion.
But you asked me a question that required fact.
So
when I don't ask you a question that requires fact.
It could enable an opinion.
You said how close, and I gave you a literal fact. I don't ever ask you, David Jones, what direction does the sun rise? See, I don't ask. You asked me, so I responded in kind. It's 7:02, and I already kicked the crap out of you.
Yesterday, Scotty G came in with, or was it Lloyd? I think it was Scotty G. Came in with the mail.
Lloyd.
It was Lloyd, yeah, okay. Came in with the mail.
Lloyd's the mailman. He always delivers.
Stuff was addressed to me. David Jones.
So if you ask me a question that requires a factual answer, Jonesy, that's what I'll give you.
Jonesy. Well, I feel like I'm back in the Henson Center in the mid-'90s. Hey, Jonesy. What's going on, Jonesy? I will talk about this with Greg Wyshynski, senior NHL writer at ESPN.
Who's from New Jersey?
What does Vegas have that has enabled them to pull this off? A month before the season ended, they weren't a sure thing for the playoffs, and yet here they are looking great. Carolina's got a 2-goal lead. No big deal. No big deal. Just fight right back and get the W. Talk with him about this coming up at 8 o'clock. NHL All-Star Weekend will have an international hockey flavor after the success of the Four Nations face-off in the Winter Olympics. The 2027 Midseason Classic, scheduled for UBS Arena in Elmont, New York, will feature teams representing Canada, Finland, Sweden, the U.S., and a world team comprised of international players. So there you go. That's not the same thing.
I think they should do a 5-nation.
And how would that work?
We get a bye. We're the U.S. What do you mean, how would that work?
We get a bye to the final?
Dumb question.
No, that was a good question.
You people, you just don't love America the way we do.
Which you people am I right now? I'm so many you people.
Jeez, that's a fact.
You missed it 2 days ago. It was a huge Zoom. Yuck.
Criticism.
The Dallas Stars announced they have a letter of intent for a potential new arena in the suburb of Plano. They proposed building a new arena at the Shops of Willow Bend.
That's Plano.
As part of a potential new mixed-use development that would make it a sports and entertainment district. It's Plano, huh?
Oh, it's Plano.
I thought it was Plano.
No, for me, it's Plano.
Why would that be?
Because I have a friend there. He called it that.
Ah.
Maybe he was wrong. It was called the Plano. I'd meet him in Plano.
Well, the day after the Mavs announced their arena, the Stars announced theirs. So everybody built a new arena. Nashville Predators hire Colorado Avalanche GM Chris McFarland as a new president of hockey operations and GM. He replaces Barry Trotz, who stepped down in February. So, there you go. Change is the only constant. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
I double down on this. Just like Becky Hammond said, prove me wrong. Absolutely double down. Getting out of the East has never been a surefire to winning a championship. What y'all talking about? You get out of the East, you're supposed to get out of the East. It's the East. Of course you're supposed to get out of the East. That don't just mean you win a championship because you get out of the East. It's the East. Great. It's the East. We beat up Boston. You should get out the East. Happy for Mike Brown, by the way, but you should get out of the East.
That's Draymond Green. Warrior played his whole life in the West.
So do I have this straight? He thinks you should get out of the East?
That, I think, would be, to summarize.
Okay.
Yeah, to summarize that would be it. Teams have come out of the East and won. The Celtics and Bucks have both done it. East has won 2 of the last 5, 3 of the last 7, if you go back to the Warriors.
Well, the Knicks have done it too.
Back in the 70s.
Well, it came out of the East.
Yeah.
The East is the East.
The East is the East. Can't argue that. More facts. It has been the lesser conference, but it has not been impossible for the Eastern team to win. Game 1 tonight, 6:30 on ABC. Knicks center Mitchell Robinson, underwent surgery on his broken right pinky finger, is officially questionable tonight. There's a belief that he could play with the finger in a brace. So, the team of your youth, PK, you will have memories flashing back tonight as you watch it'll be San Antonio tonight when they get to the Garden.
Memories.
Thank you, Babs. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
How many losers are there in pro sports, PK?
Those that don't win.
Atlanta Falcons give star wide receiver Drake London a 4-year contract extension, $141 million extension, $100 million of that guaranteed. Incentives can push the deal up around $150 million.
Yeah, I seen that yesterday.
Big cash.
I like the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, you keep everything one syllable. I don't know why he did that, but it sounded okay to me, so I didn't say anything.
Steelers signed linebacker Nick Herbig to a 4-year, $100 million extension, $42 million guaranteed. He'd sat out the first day of their mandatory minicamp while awaiting the deal to be done. Now he's got his deal.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
It's not mandatory if he sat it out, right? It's mandatory for all of you suckers. I'm about to get a new contract. A slightly different definition of mandatory.
Did he clear the insurmountable hurdle?
He did. He did the impossible. Rams coach Sean McVay said there is a chance the former All-Pro defensive tackle Aaron Donald could unretire and rejoin the team. They added defensive end Myles Garrett. Donald, 35 years old. He retired in 2024. Pretty unusual story, PK. A defensive lineman coming back at 35?
Yeah, there was some picture of him on the couch, and he still looked buff and all that stuff. And so they thought maybe later in the season, not in August.
So forget mandatory mini camps. The first month or two isn't mandatory.
There's still videos of him working out, and he's still getting after it.
Right.
And he was really good when he quit.
And so the idea is maybe that if they need him come November, I mean, we've seen that. That's not. Didn't Flacco do it here recently? Not that he had the impact that Aaron Donald
would be expected to have.
Eric Weddle did it.
Yeah, Weddle's a good
example.
example.
Somebody.
Weddle.
I knew that's who it was. Yeah.
Made their own with the Ravens. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think that it's that impressive. When I saw that yesterday, I thought
you didn't rule it out.
That's feasible. I also saw that Garrett. He's going to pay just a bleep load more in taxes going to California.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you people with all the taxes?
Another you people.
Please.
Wait, for years you've been telling me the taxes don't matter.
I didn't say they mattered. I just said that's what that's what he's going to have to pay.
Bleep load more.
So whether it matters or not is up to him. I mean, clearly it didn't matter with Durant. Steph Curry resigned. LeBron resigned or signed and then re-signed. Shohei Ohtani. Do we have in the next 5 hours?
Sure, go ahead.
It's
Read the rosters for every team in California. And then read all the New York rosters.
Those who
they're
signed
paying,
in California when they didn't have to.
Paying big
and when you're
money.
making that amount of money. Now, I told you, though, that Merle Kelly decided to re-sign with Arizona versus San Diego, even though San Diego was offering more, because his tax guy said, if you do this and this and this, you're going to end up paying this and this more. Plus, Phoenix was home, so I'm not sure that's it. I mean, he literally went to high school there and college there.
Nonetheless, there are markets like New York and California, probably Illinois too, where the tax bill is much higher. And then you got the Florida and Texas where there's nothing. And you got places like Utah that are in between. I think it's 5% here.
Is it?
So 5%
I always thought it was 10%. What do I know?
Yeah. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
SEC and Big Ten released a joint statement yesterday saying they do not support the current version of a bipartisan Protect College Sports Act designed to regulate an industry struggling for answers in a quickly changing era. The statement says the bill leaves critical issues unresolved, including not meaningfully preempting state laws with a federal one, which has long been considered a key element for the measure to get support from the NCAA and the various conferences. So they're going to push back on this.
On what?
Having a federal law that regulates college sports in multiple ways, from broadcasting to the ability of athletes to transfer, to capping pay.
Do they have power to push back?
I think they can rally some state reps, the various, senators or whatever. I mean, if senators from Indiana, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina begin to oppose this, can they get some real numbers to help defeat this? That's a deeper dive than I want to take, but I did wonder it.
Well, I'm just going to do whatever Tommy Tuberville says to do.
Okay. Pac-12 Commissioner Teresa Gold said in a statement she believes the industry should engage in honest conversations about student-athlete employment and collective bargaining.
I think they should engage in
dishonest conversations. How about one-sided conversations? I'm struggling to see what the athlete's motivation is for, let's collectively bargain. It's a little bit like the baseball players. They're getting a lot of what they want now. Why would they give in? Well, in baseball, maybe because they get locked out and they don't get to make money. That would be why the baseball players give in, if they give in. Haven't heard anything about locking out college players yet. We'll see. All right, DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Out of the stretch, delivers home. And this one pulled down the right field side. Fair ball right on the line. Around third. Comes rushing. He'll score. Freeland's going to get waved around. Ohtani around second. He's into third with a pop-up side. Safe. It's 4-0 Dodgers.
The 2-2 to Pareda. Swinging a well-hit ball. Deep to left field. Soto going back, looking up. Goodbye, baseball. Johnny Pareda with his second home run as a Seattle Mariner. A 3-run home run here in the bottom of the fifth.
Now fly ball right center from Rumfield. Adele's after it in the gap, and he makes the running catch. Oh, he didn't grab it. The ball actually clanked off of Adele, and I believe did it bounce over? I don't think so. Let's see. It clanked, it hit him in the head, and
That could be a home run. That's definitely a home run.
That is a home run, almost Canseco style.
Joe Adele had the blooper of the night. The ball goes off his glove, off his head, and over the wall for a home run, as Jose Canseco famously had that happen to him back in '93. Adele's had balls go off his glove and over the wall before. He also had the night earlier this year where he just seemed to pull every single fly ball back into the park. I think he robbed 3 home runs in that game. Yeah. But it's on the wrong end of it tonight. Last night. Rockies beat the Angels 8-2. Yankees, Aaron Judge, what is going to happen? He's got a bone bruise in his upper right rib cage. He's feeling it in his shoulder. He's going to see a specialist to get checked out. So when will he be able to play again, and when will he be dominant again? All questions the Yankees are waiting for answers for. No questions for the Seattle Mariners. You hear that highlight, they win again. That is 8 straight for them, leading the division. Although Texas is trying to go with them. Texas has won 5 in a row. Not quite back to 500 yet. That division everybody was under, but Mariners now have a winning record, and Texas are only a couple games away from getting back to 500 now. Dodgers running away with the NL West now. They have opened it up. 6-game lead with that win there, as you heard them. Running the bases. The Padres get beat by the Phillies 3-2. So the Phillies continue to surge since Don Mattingly takes over. Bees beat the Albuquerque Isotopes 7-4. Game 2 at the ballpark at America First Square tonight. First pitch set for 6:35. Coverage starts at 6:20 on 1280 The Zone. And that's what's trending. And it's brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. All right, spring football tour continues. Jerry Branham, Houston Cougars football sideline reporter and host of ESPN 97.5 in Houston, will join us at 9 o'clock to tell us about a team that had a pretty good year last year. Are they ready to take another big step forward? We'll talk with him at 9 o'clock. Greg Wyshynski, senior NHL writer at ESPN, will join us at 8 o'clock. It's a Win Tickets Wednesday. We got tickets to see Britt Floyd in concert at the Maverick Center this Saturday. We'll do that coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, so stay tuned for that. The question of the day is next.
Turn it up. Let's go. It's a new era for sports radio in Utah. This is the all-new KSL Sports Zone. As always, DJ and PK kick off your mornings from 6 to 10. Then introducing the newest addition to the KSL Sports Zone. The coach, Tim Lacombe, joins Scotty G every day from 10 to 2. And as you wrap up your day, Jake Scott and Ben Anderson are there with the best sports talk in Utah from 2 to 6. Live and local, all day, every day. Your home for the best sports radio in Utah is live, on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
KSL Sports Zone of BI Meals are honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer for the BI Meals Hero of the Week at KSLSports.com/contest. And listen every Thursday afternoon to Jake and Ben for the winner. It's the BI Meals Hero of the Week. Question of the morning. How can any right-thinking Jazz fan root for the Spurs to win another NBA championship?
Can't do it.
People who default to the West or default to the small market?
No.
Think again.
Can't do it.
Well, first off, I was, I would say, mildly surprised to see the response. There was much more pro-Knicks sentiment here than I probably would have expected. Yeah.
Well, because everybody knows the country revolves around the New York area.
That is why people root against New York, that attitude right there. Michael, have you ever met a New Yorker? Apparently, Michael's been irritated and does not want to root for a New York team.
When I was a kid, my grandmother lived in Brooklyn, and she was a very nice lady.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would have met her,
you'd have had a different opinion about New Yorkers.
If this woman, Mary Ellen Kinahan, does not go to heaven, there's no such thing as heaven.
The rest of us are doomed, right?
Yeah. Right.
She ought to be leading the way.
Right.
Shelley says, I'm cheering for New York because I'm cheering for Jordan Clarkson to get a ring. Ryan, I'm rooting for Jordan Clarkson, no doubt. But, man, Wemby's such an awesome player. I can't be mad if he wins.
But it's the Spurs. It's not about the individual. It's the Spurs. Do you want the Spurs to win again? And he's in his third year?
Dustin, no. We do not want to see the Spurs win another championship.
Exactly. When they tanked and got rewarded and the Jazz tanked and got fined? What?
Double standard.
What was that about, man?
There were too many teams tanking all at once, and it was too obvious. That's what it was about. And it was right before the All-Star game, and he had a press conference he had to hold.
Yeah, you hung up on that.
I totally think that. I swear if it had broken 2 weeks later, it had been different.
But, all right, let's dissect what you just said.
Yeah.
There were so many teams.
Yep.
In fact, you said too many teams.
Yes.
So we really need to talk about the Jazz at the All-Star break. Yep. I mean, that's number one on the NBA's list. We must talk about the Jazz at the All-Star game because everybody knows the microscope is under the Jazz and anything they do just defines what the NBA is about. Now, over here, I have sense.
Everything's
and over
bigger.
there, I have nonsense.
Everything's bigger on the Wasatch Front. And you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
You get stuff. Locke said that, and I could just see your mind. Aha! Colin Cowherd in 2020 13 said the no state taxes. And for the next 5 years, you came in and screamed about the no state taxes. And then all the premier free agents signed with California teams. And now you're doing it again. How in the heck does that make any sense that when in one sentence you say there were too many teams tanking, so let's find the Jazz? Why not all the 17 other teams? Because there were too many by your own words.
Yes.
Now let's go after Utah because they are the center of the NBA.
Whipping boy, no pushback there. Don't go after somebody else. A little surprised they didn't go after some of the other markets they could have made the whipping boy, but it was pretty obvious what was going on here.
It's been pretty obvious.
Yeah.
You've told me, according to your own words, that tanking has been going on for decades.
Yes. And usually it's 2, 3, 4 teams. And this year was 7, 8, 10 teams.
No disagreement there.
Yeah.
So, but we had to just speak about the Jazz at the All-Star break.
They were doing something.
Because I was going to show him how tough I am.
They were doing something different, and it caught everybody's attention. So
For two games.
They were at the center of the debate. Yep, sitting guys in the fourth
which
quarter.
they played 27 and 23 minutes.
Yep. They sat him in the fourth quarter.
And one of which they won. So they were a 500 team.
It was,
I'm not a lawyer, but my gosh, this is easy to debunk.
Except they got fined. They didn't debunk it. Even though they got a great case.
No. That's not what I'm arguing about. I'm arguing that they had to do it because they had to speak at the All-Star. We had to find the Jazz, or else we would have been Marcel Marceau.
Did they find anybody after the All-Star break? Nope.
But the year before, they find the Jazz. Did they find the Jazz the year before? Yep. Would you give me something that I actually have to work on?
They kept tanking the rest of the season, and they didn't get fined. Whatever. Let's get back to the original question of the morning. Knicks Spurs.
Yeah, and I don't want the Spurs to do it because they tanked. Knicks didn't tank. If tanking, and we all agree tanking is awful, it's an awful look, so why would I root for the Spurs? That is the very discussion, is that they tanked
I was channel
for
surfing.
years.
Yeah.
The Knicks did not. They just sucked when they sucked.
I was channel surfing during the Stanley Cup last night, and ESPN was running the Jordan 10-part documentary again, and I happened to hit the part that was at the very root of Krause and Jordan, and there were people saying, and they were going through the stuff where Jordan had the broken foot and wanted to come back, and they were limiting him to 7 minutes per half, and it was a Krause rule, and there was somebody who covered the team who said, at the root of all the problems, Jordan thought Krause and the Bulls, and Reinsdorf, I guess, violated the principal tenet, like, you should always win. You should always be trying to win in everything. And Jordan basically never forgave him for it. Tanking right there. They wanted to tank, and he got furious. It's been at the center of so many questions for the league, and that's decades. That's going on 40 years
Which is
now.
why I don't want to reward the Spurs. Yeah.
Brian says, I hope the Knicks win. They haven't won since 73. The Spurs have won more recently, and the Knicks need to pay him back for 99. That's a way to hold a grudge. "27 years later, got to pay him back for that series."
I remember nothing about that series. I'm sure you do.
It went 5. That's about it. It was Duncan's first title. Jay says, anyone but the Knicks. Holy cow, guys, get a clue. And anyone but the Yankees while we're at it.
Why anybody but the Knicks? There's some powerhouse that wins all the time?
It hasn't won since 73, like the last person said. I think Jay just doesn't like New York teams. I think that's the thread to draw there.
So he would root against Brooklyn.
Apparently.
That powerhouse.
That powerhouse has done nothing since they had a really good team when they came into the league. They got stripped of all their players, and they've never really recovered. They made a couple finals, but never won it all. Larry, because I'm not going to root for a team in the East.
So you're going to root against a team that's been rewarded for tanking while you got fined multiple times.
Yep.
And they're a younger team. They've got, BYU's recruiting guys that are like 5 years older than them and trying to get a center. And you want them to have a budding power. And then we have to hear about Popovich again, and we got to roll them out and go through that song and dance again.
No, we've got that here. Yeah, Jeremy. Wimby has heart, and Coach Pop's a legend. Go Spurs. Sincerely, a sad, sad Jazz fan.
No.
You think there's any chance that if they win, more teams come for their players and it breaks their team up because they can't pay everybody? Is there any chance?
That's every team. So you get hung up on that.
Yeah, but
every team that wins, you're going to have to pay. So that'll be a never-ending problem in the NBA if you consider that a problem.
And some of the guys, I know, I'm just thinking what breaks the Spurs up faster. And maybe they just get broken up because they're going to get paid either way. And so whether they win this championship or not, maybe just doesn't accelerate it much. They're good enough that to whatever degree people have cap room and can make moves, they're going to be trying to land some of these guys.
Okay.
I did wonder about that when I saw you post the question. Like, would winning this series help accelerate, the team becoming expensive and having to be broken up?
Okay, you're wondering about questions that can't be answered. I'm wondering about questions that are going to be answered if they win. You have a third-year guy and a first-year guy, and Castle's young, and that they stand in the way of the Jazz. That isn't anything to wonder about. That's a fact. And I don't want that. I want the Jazz to be able to beat the Spurs. I want the Jazz to be able to be in the finals. They're not in the East. They're not supposed to come out of the East. So, yes, I do not want the Spurs to win because that negatively impacts the Jazz. If I'm a Jazz, and I'm doing it because it's fun for work. I don't have the emotional attachment to this franchise at all. And those who do, why would I want a potential rival to win it? At this age, at this stage? If Wembanyama was 36 and this was kind of the last go-around, fine. But it's not. He's just barely getting started here. And who cares who you surround him with? If he's that good, I just need some decent players. So you could poach whoever. If you want that champagne guy, and once you have that level of star, it's far easier to get the secondary guys. The secondary guys, they're important, but they're easier to acquire. We all agree on that.
There's more of them.
Yeah, and they're very good players. But you need the stars, and he's a star. Obviously, he has a chance to be the best player in the league for a decade. We would all agree on that.
Does that change if they lose this series?
No.
So your first point is strong. They're in the Jazz way. But they're going to be in the Jazz way and be a gigantic obstacle whether they pull this off or not. Unless they have
why
one of
have
those,
them win it?
Unless they have one of those like epic meltdowns that makes them question themselves.
I would rather have them lose it. And I've always hated Becky Hammon, and she has a chance to be wrong.
Well, it's two different things. I'd agree, obviously, because you've heard me say it before, with what she says as far as it's hard to pick the little player and all that. But don't we all mostly root for the little guy? I mean, it's not hard to figure out why Wemby might win a championship.
I do not root for you.
But Brunson, I'm not a little guy. I mean, I'm a little there, but I'm still not little. But wouldn't it be cool? I mean, really, what beef does anybody have with Jalen Brunson? Plays super hard.
Jazz.
His teammates seem to like him. He beat the Jazz in one playoff series like 5 years ago. You can hold that against him? Okay, well, if you want to, you're right. That'd be something
I don't hold anything against any
I know
player.
You don't, especially you don't. But I mean, I'm just trying to think of like the average fan. I think you'd have to be pretty hardcore.
No, I think he's amazing to watch.
Yeah.
With his craftiness.
And I think the league is more interesting if really good, smaller players can elevate their team like that. And it's like, well, they do have Karl Anthony Towns. It's not exactly terrible. But Brunson is the guy who takes the most shots.
He's a good player.
Right.
But I mean, he's not.
I'd have to go back, but like with someone
Not
like
all that.
right. But when I think like Steve Nash and Kidd, right? These other smaller guards who were really good and got there, they didn't have someone the caliber of. I mean, don't you think Cat was better than Stoudemire?
No.
I think Stoudemire's better. He was more athletically explosive, and he was a decent shooter out to 17 or 18 feet.
Well, I think Steve Nash made everybody look better.
I agree. That's why I think Cat's better. Is that Stoudemire did look really good.
But the game was different. You can't go by distance on shooting in those days.
He wasn't asked to do stuff.
Nobody was.
Yeah.
It was like that. They would set off sirens and almost like police blares and glares as lights when somebody made a three-pointer back then.
Yeah. And now it's like, okay.
Now you'd be out of batteries halfway through the first quarter.
I need some double A's.
Right. So it's just literally a different ball game in that. But, we have to see, because to go to Draymond Green, who loves to hear himself talk, that if the Spurs blow them out, well, then it was, the East.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to see the level of competitiveness. So I can't go crazy just because they got there, because somebody has to get there.
Somebody has to get there, and Draymond's point is true. The East has been bad. Even the championship teams that came out of it, it wasn't a gauntlet to come out of. But there is something about the Knicks and the way they've dominated people. I mean,
now we get to
see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and
we
I
get
hope
to see.
I would
prefer a longer series and more
always
games to talk about and more drama at the end.
Always.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I've always said, my dream scenario is the Jazz go 82-0 and then win 4 7-game series.
What in the world do you want 16 for? It'd be over too fast.
Right. And have them win the 7th game 4 times.
Yeah.
Have them play an even 100 games.
Yeah,
right,
that's what I would be looking for. Yeah. Every year. That's my goal for them.
Best story for us.
Right. Exactly.
How will they respond to the first loss? How could they? In the first round. Oh, good show.
Yeah.
Patrick says, the question, how can any right-thinking Jazz fan root for the Spurs to win another NBA championship? He says, especially when a former Jazz man was the Knicks, flame on JC, exclamation point, and bleep the Spurs, exclamation point.
I think Clarkson would get one, but he's really a limited role player.
Yes.
And knowing, well, I don't
he's
really
not,
know
he's not,
him.
He's not 25, 30
I wonder if
minutes
he even
up.
cares. I mean, he wants to win, but is it going to make a big difference in his life?
Deep burning, yeah.
Yeah, he's so far out there that who
and
knows
it's not
what
like he's
thinking.
been with the team for 8 years, and it's been this long climb with the Knicks.
Right.
I mean, Brunson's had a long climb. It hasn't been 8 years, but he's had a long climb with the Knicks.
Yeah,
and he's in a starring
Mitchell
role.
Robinson was there. He's been there for a while.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you like Clarkson and he was an eccentric, funny dude, different guy, fine. He will be able to say he played on a team the whole season that won it all, and that's fun. And then when they have the 20-year reunion,
they'll run him out there.
Yeah, if he wants to come back.
Yeah.
Who knows where he'll be on the planet? If he's even able to have someone get in touch with him. Probably not. Who knows where he's going to be?
If there's somebody who actually went off and lived on some mountainside in the Philippines, it would be him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get it. It's a loose local connection.
Yeah. But he was popular here. And the Spurs don't have anybody with a tie here, do they?
What's his face?
Olynyk sitting on the bench there. Yeah. But Clarkson's playing more than him.
Barely, but yeah.
Yeah.
And good for Olynyk. He's managed to keep himself in the league.
Yeah.
You think with all the money he's made, he can afford a haircut?
Come on, man. He's got separation. You're the king of separation.
Yeah, but you got to have separation on something that is not easily doable. Like the guy who has a big dog. No.
No separation.
Or the guy who tells me, I'm a girl dad. Well, aren't you special?
There's no real separation there either.
Right.
A lot
you
of
got to do something like that guy I golfed with, and he was an international phenomenon. That's
all
separation.
Right. We will get to that next. Stay with us. That is, did you want people to top it? I don't know if you can top it.
What?
At least pull up alongside of it. You put the question up.
Oh, the McCartney one?
Yeah.
That's untoppable.
Listener says he got paired up with Paul McCartney for a few finishing holes in Orlando several years ago. What's your best story?
You can't top that.
We've got some people trying. We will get to that next. DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
3, 2, 1. This is Scotty G and Coach Tim LaCombe.
Kurt Heelan, NBC Sports, and ProBasketballTalk.com.
You can't talk about the Knicks and their dominance without talking about how futile the Cavs were. But the non-timeout and the issue all series with Harden, I was surprised to see Kenny Atkinson be brought back. Were you?
A little. I think that they genuinely, like, their front office backs him, and they think, look, we got farther than we could have. The weird thing is it looks kind of like they're going to run it back. They don't trade for James Harden. That deal doesn't get done without a handshake deal to extend him. They're not going to let Mitchell go. It's going to be an interesting offseason if they run it back. Right now, that's the way they're talking, but I can't see that being, just seems like they'll be worse.
That seems like the definition of insanity to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you know how that's going to end. You just do. You've got enough data points to know how that's going to end.
And everybody's going to be better, and if you're just the same, you're fading. You're getting worse.
Catch Scotty G and Coach weekdays from 10 to 2. Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Join Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaCombe, today from 10 to 2. They're going to be at Mountain Land Supply's grand opening in Eagle Mountain, 766 East Split Rock Drive. So you told a great story, and why don't you retell it here for people, because it's kind of the basis for this segment. Why don't you go ahead and retell this so we get people up to speed. This is a classic.
Well, last Thursday, I got up, came in, did the show. Then I went home, had some pancakes.
Too many details.
What is going on here?
He's just in a mood.
It's only 7:47. It's not 9 o'clock yet.
I was waiting for the face, the look, and I got it.
I know, yeah, yes. The nice part is with YouTube, people can see the look now.
I knew it was coming. He kind of lowers his head a little bit.
This is so sad. This used to be a proper radio show. Now it's a hot mess.
I was at a wedding reception. Guy comes up to me and says, "You like golf stories?" So I got one, and he and his wife are telling me. So he's in Orlando.
How much longer is this after the pancakes?
It's hours.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
We jumped from 10:30 to like 5 o'clock.
So you're at this wedding. Wedding.
Yeah, at a wedding reception. I'm hanging out, and the guy says, "I got a story I got to tell you." Okay, fine, yeah. And he and his wife were golfing in Orlando several years ago, and the sun's going down, and there's a twosome ahead of them, and so the twosome ahead of them invites them to play so they can both finish. Because you wouldn't have been able to finish otherwise, right? And that's very nice of those guys. He kind of recognizes the guy a little bit. They have introductions. The guy says his name is Paul, and my guy says something along the lines of, "Where are you from?" And Paul says, "Liverpool, England." Well, there's only one Paul from Liverpool, England, and that's Paul McCartney. And sure enough, that's who it was. Now, I have some people say they have a hard time believing it, but why would the guy randomly? I mean, he knew who I was from work.
Right. And also, his wife is standing there.
And she looked as pure and innocent as could possibly be, and she was nodding along.
If the guy's full of it and he's telling some story.
She's not going to allow it.
No. And she can't. Does she have the BS factor to pull it off with a straight face?
No, not at all. If you would have seen
the vibe's just all wrong, right? It's just all wrong. Yeah.
The purest skin, like the driven snow. She looked like an angel.
Paul McCartney's in the group in front of you and waves you up because you probably won't finish if he doesn't wave you up. And he's looking at the sun. It's like, we can let those two play and join us.
Yeah. And it's friggin' Paul
And so the
McCartney.
Story is he was there for some kind of big extended family thing.
Apparently, his family was going to Disney World, and he tells my guy says, "Well, what's up?" And he says, "Well, I don't like crowds." And I don't know if it was a joke or what. The guy's been surrounded by crowds since he was 20 years old. I mean,
that doesn't explain Shea Stadium.
That could be, when he dies, that literally will be an international story of epic proportions.
Absolutely.
He's 83, and he's still touring. In fact, he just put out an album. It's literally out for days
and
now.
He's been out promoting. He's been on a lot of shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I went to a concert of his a few years back, and they have our email, so they send us stuff constantly when we bought the tickets. I saw him in Vegas, and And he said that Paul let him use his 3-wood. And so he must have been extremely accommodating. We know Paul's a sports fan. He's been photographed at
lots of games.
And I told you Chad Lewis was in the suite next to him when the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl in Glendale, Arizona, and Chad shared the picture with me of him and Paul. So that is a topper. And I talked to Jay Drew about it, and he working for Desert News, covers golf, and he said, boy, that really tops my story. And he did a pretty good story, that he was at the U.S. Open in 2019, and he was going to get on a shuttle to go from where the clubhouse area, I guess, or media area, over to the 10th tee, which apparently at Pebble Beach is a decent hike. And he goes to get on the shuttle. The guy says the shuttle's just for players. Well, Fowler's there, and Fowler was the only one apparently, and Fowler says, no, he can come on. So he rides over with Fowler, which is a cool story.
That is a cool story. I wouldn't mind hopping on a golf cart with Ricky Fowler at a U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You know, they're not going to have the Century in Maui anymore. But we went over there a couple years back, and my wife actually she's got a crush on Fowler, and she walked several holes with and talked with his parents. They were talking about pickleball and all sorts of things. They were just
Your wife and pickleball.
They were having a legitimate conversation, a leisurely conversation as you're walking holes there at Kapalua. So that's a cool story. And then afterwards, she got her picture taken with Ricky, and that's a cool story.
Nice.
But man, my goodness, this tops them all. I mean, I've golfed Frank Layden and some other guys, but nothing to the level of this.
Listener says he gets paired up with Paul McCartney for a few finishing holes golfing in Orlando several years ago. What is your best story? And we got a lot of people, and there's some decent stories here. I don't think they're Paul McCartney level, but they're pretty good. Brady, John Stockton and Fred Roberts were at a movie theater in Provo. They said hello and talked to us. John was really nice to us. We were only in the 8th grade, and it made our day.
It had to be the younger John Stockton.
He's with Fred Roberts, so I'm assuming Fred's on the team. So, yeah, I would think younger John Stockton. It's older John Stockton.
No, because I got a story that is exactly the most complimentary towards John.
Elevator Hotel, San Francisco. Yeah.
But that was when he was in a different person. Now he's...
That was mid-'90s or late 90s?
Yeah.
But see, Fred Roberts on the team. Now we're back into the mid-'80s.
Mm-hmm. I've seen Fred recently twice. I saw him at Wasatch, and then I saw him at Red Iguana.
Were you eating breakfast on the deck up there, or were you golfing?
It was a golf. He was walking in, or I was walking out, vice versa. Yeah. And then he came in, I think he'd pick up some food at Red Iguana, and we were waiting for a table.
More golfing stories. Caleb said, I was golfing with my dad, and I looked back, and there was Dennis Pitta.
All right, Dennis Pitta, my guy, our guy.
Hey, College Football Hall of Fame nominee Dennis Pitta.
There you go.
Yesterday.
Dennis Pitta, sure.
We've been golfing and looked over and it's like, is that a BYU football player over there? It's got to be.
It's Brian Keel.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you took the cart and raced over there. What's up?
Yeah.
And then he hit a ball 300 yards, and then we went back to what we were doing. Caleb has another brush with greatness. So he was once at a Jimmy John's with Big T Thurl Bailey.
Oh, Thurl everybody has a Thurl.
Everybody has a Thurl story.
I was going to say, he's got to be the most ubiquitous of the bunch.
He's about as accessible as could possibly be. I've golfed with Thurl. I saw one time at Jordan Commons Theater, he was off in the distance, and he was walking out, and I saw somebody recognize him from behind, and the guy sprinted over to be able to say hello to Thurl before Thurl got out of the building.
5 years of doing pre-half and post at Jazz games with Big T and with Pace. And without fail, Pace and I, after the pregame show ended, would get up. We would go either to our seats or to concessions to grab something or go to the bathroom, whatever. And Thurl would stay behind the desk signing autographs. People would bring a lot of stuff. I remember he signed a lot of promotional stuff because he did the movie Play Goliath. And there was a lot of promotional stuff with that. People would always have posters and stuff. But basketball cards and, whatever else too.
Yeah.
Headbands, clothing.
If you don't have your picture or autograph from Thrill, it's because you don't want it.
Yeah. I wish there was some kind of odometer on all the interactions people had with Big T and with Jeff Hornacek, because gazillions.
Those are common guys in a
Yes.
sense, and I mean that in a complimentary way.
Right.
They don't think of themselves
They're not
as
going to
anything
big time.
special.
There's no way either one of those guys is going to
They
big time
happen to
anybody.
play hoop, but
Yeah.
outside of that,
Jeff said once, I was asking him about the interactions, and he goes, he says, I don't know why people handle it the other way. This is the easiest way to handle it. Everybody thinks I'm doing it for them. It's the easiest for me. He said, in Phoenix, if you don't have my autograph, it's because you don't want it. I've been down there a million times, and people just come up and whatever. Just, yeah, sure.
Well, he lives there.
Yeah. But in his playing days, he said he signed so many autographs his first 2 or 3 years.
when he was playing?
Yeah, the conversation was he signed so many autographs the first 2 or 3 years he was there. He didn't have to sign them year 5, because by then, if you had it, if you wanted it, you already had it.
Yeah, Hornacek is a dream guy.
Yep.
No doubt about it. He's a great guy.
Okay, so now Brian put himself in an environment where you're going to have more brushes with greatness, but this is still pretty cool. He says, when I was coaching in the TBT basketball tournament with Marshall alumni, we're in the finals in Philly. I got into an elevator, and there was Alfonso Ellis.
LaFonso.
Yes, he said Alfonso.
I was going to say, pretty sure it's LaFonso, but okay.
Oh, when you said Alfonso, I thought the guy who was the dancer dude with what's the guy who got smacked in the face by Chris Rock? Will Smith.
Oh.
That TV show.
You mean Will Smith who punched?
Will Smith, yeah.
Yeah, that TV show where
Will hit Chris.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of the TV show?
You're talking about Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah.
From
Oh,
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince, yeah.
Yeah, Alfonso.
And he does that dance.
Yeah, but yeah, Alfonso, LaFonso.
I thought that's what I thought you were going to say.
When you say Alfonso, you're like, oh, Ribeiro? Okay, yeah.
Brian said, hey, Denver Nuggets. And he said that Ellis is like, wow, nobody said that in years, because now he's been doing a lot of college basketball. People are talking to him about college basketball all the time. What do you think about team and all that kind of stuff? And so people aren't really bringing up the Nuggets thing. And he said, well, I was stationed in Colorado when you played there. He was in the Army.
Oh.
So, and then he coached against them the next night, and they won the championship. Ellis's team won the championship. He says about an hour later, I ran into Fran Fraschilla at our practice. That was a great experience.
Fraschil's another very
when you're at
guy.
when you're at the basketball tournament and you're in the final, there's going to be more people to bump into. You're giving yourself a pretty good chance there.
I have to myself. I can't claim brushes with athletes. I have too much access to them.
Yeah, right.
So
no, I get it.
really
It doesn't count. Yeah. Fran Fraschilla was super nice. I ran into him at an NCAA tournament in the hotel lobby. Again, doesn't really count. But it was when Travis Hansen was playing. And he said, who are you here covering? And I said, well, we're from Utah. We're here covering BYU. And he goes, what's the kid with the platinum hair? He's got some street in his game. I like that kid. He got all fired up about Travis.
He does, and he did.
Yeah. Here's a good one. We'll end on this one. Steve, my buddies and I worked on Redford's Ranch in the late 70s. We were getting ready to hydro seed, and John Havlicek and his wife were walking up the road from the guest house. We also ate lunch next to Gail Goodrich and his family down at the Sundance Lodge, but we didn't know who they were until our boss told us afterward.
Gail Goodrich?
Gail Goodrich.
Okay, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Might be unassuming. I know a guy who worked for years at Pelican Hills. Now, Pelican Hills is a golf course hillside in Newport Beach. And obviously it's got ocean views. And he told me there was celebrities galore were there. Saw him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And because he was a marshal there. He now works at one of the St. George courses. He's retired. And he told me, and so I said, well, give me some stories. So he gave me a few. And he said the nicest guy that he ever encountered working there for many years was Bruce Willis.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
And obviously Bruce Willis has had a ton of
health issues, big time. Yeah.
It's sad.
But that is sad. But it is also really cool because there was a time that Bruce Willis, he was about as big as it got. His action movies came out, and people flocked to the theater, and he got paid big money, and people spent big money, and
Absolutely.
He was right in the middle of the Hollywood machine. Even now, it's 30-plus years, maybe almost 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Die Hard, is it a Christmas movie? And we can all quote Bruce Willis lines.
He loved Bruce Willis.
Yeah. All right, DJ and PK, we'll take a break. When we come back, Greg Wyshynski joins us, senior NHL writer at ESPN. Get his take on Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. The team that knocked Utah out is 3 games away from the title, 3 wins away from the title. We'll talk with Greg about that. Stay with us.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.